All right. All right. It looks like I'm not lagging. We'll see what happens after we do the share screen. Sit tight, guys. I just sent out the new link for this. So just sit tight for a couple seconds. It looks like people are strolling back in now. Sorry about that. We are back. I'll wait just a couple seconds to I just sent out the new links. So give me just a couple of seconds and we're going to get rocking. All right, what is up, everybody? We are back. I am not going to repeat everything I said. My right-hand man, Nash, said he can glue these together once we're done. So the recording will look a lot more organized than the live did. But anyway, let's go ahead and get straight to the charts. All right, share screen. Here we go. Here we go. Let's try this round two. Yeah. Okay. All right, so this is something that's incredibly prolific, okay? But it's so simple. And everyone that was calling end of cycle, for them not to see this or understand this, to me is extremely unfortunate, very unfortunate. We've talked about this even from the bear market time period. And what I want to show you right now, okay, this is the weekly chart. So every one of these candles represents an entire week. That's why it's all bunched together. It's so bunched together that you can see last cycle H right here, okay? But I want to draw your attention to something we've discussed before that you must carry forward. You must carry this forward. All right? And we discussed this before. And that is this volume packet here. All right, what is this? This is the most prolific bear market accumulation of Bitcoin that any cycle has ever seen. Why? Well, duh. The obvious is knowing that the ETFs were coming, the spot ETFs. There has never been an accumulation of Bitcoin like this during a bear market in history. And you can go back and look at the other bear market lows and see it's just not there. There's small packets of accumulation, but you never get, this is so monstrous. I want you to look at the FOMO volume. This is the FOMO volume where you get your max volume at the peak. We're selling, this is how you're going to know when the end comes. Because you're going to get this FOMO volume into this ascension. Look at the volume during the bear market. Never have we ever seen this massive amount of accumulation on Bitcoin in a time period when supply was already so low. We talked about this before. On-chain statistics showed that there was almost very little Bitcoin volume during the bear market. Usually during the bear market, when price is crashing, massive amounts of liquidity returns. And we talked about how the reason why they were able to drop price during the bear market, the reason why they were able to price is because they had the margin or leverage ETFs. So even while supply was dwindling, smart money was able to continue to reduce the price while accumulating Bitcoin. And this is the biggest amount of accumulation ever in the history of Bitcoin. And we had people talking about how, I don't know how. Well, we do know how. They were using Bitstamp charts, which Bitstamp is ranked number 17 in volume. Looking at that and saying there was no accumulation for Bitcoin, and that's why this was the top. Well, dear friend, you are looking at the wrong charts. You need to go to where all the volume is. Bitstamp lost its hold on being a highly used exchange during this cycle. to a ton of other exchanges. Bitcoin went from the top. Bitstamp went from being one of the top 5 exchanges to now ranked number 17. Coinbase is ranked number 2 behind Binance. That's why you have to be looking at the right charts to see this. Now, what I wanted you to do, you have to take this and you have to come forward. And so now let's look at that 220 day. Let's look at that. I'm going to highlight it for you. All right, let me undo that. Check it out. Oop. Here we go. Here it is. 220 days. All right. This is what it looks like when you come to the end of a cycle. Right there. Now, stay with me. Knowing that you have this type of accumulation, unlike anything we've ever seen, show me where the distribution is. Where is the distribution? Where is it? Where's the selling? Where's the macro selling? Let me move this chart over. It looks like my face is in the way. There it is. There it is. Profit-taking pullback, descending volume, reaccumulation. There's a big difference between what a top looks like with FOMO money. It has to be there because look at the accumulation. So if this is accumulation, guess what distribution must look like? You see it? End of cycle distribution where whales and big money are dumping has to come close to this because this is the buying. If this is the buying and the accumulation, what then must the distribution look like? Not that. As a matter of fact, this is reaccumulation, folks. Reaccumulation. That was your selling. And that's normal profit taking, not end of cycle. Not end of cycle. Period. Period. All right, so let's get off of Bitcoin and talk about the flip, the switch. I always get those two mixed up. The switch that needs the flip. Sometimes I say the flip that needs the switch. The switch that needs the flip. The way you do that, why? Because it's been a Bitcoin dominated market, and check it out. Let's look at Bitcoin dominant. Check it out. 360 Elite knows. So here's your dominance from last cycle, way up here, where Bitcoin reached peak dominance at 70%. Double top. Bam. Bam. 70% dominance. I told all of my folks that the top would be near 60%, and check this out. Not only are we at 60%, not only have we hit that resistance, we now have a bearish engulfing in bar and candle for Bitcoin dominance. It's hey, Crip Zaddy, it's not the mic. It's my room. Because I actually have a Yeti. Sorry, I have a Yeti. It's the room. The room is a chamber. So the ceilings in here are 15 feet up there. They're up there. Like my room is and there's nothing absorbing the sound. I promise you, it is not the mic. Trust me, it's the room. You're just gonna have to grin and bear it. It is what it is. Unless I come in here and put foam padding in this room, you can forget it. Like literally, I've done everything. So sorry. All right, so bailfing for Bitcoin dominance. Again, remember, Bitcoin loses dominance every time near its old all-time high. Bitcoin is above its old all-time high, so it should be losing dominance. That does not mean Bitcoin is done for the cycle. Bitcoin always climbs to new heights, while losing dominance. To who? To what? Ethereum and altcoins, baby. That's right. Ethereum and altcoins. Now, we're going to validate this chart because we don't just look at one thing. We never take anything out of context. We're going to validate this by looking at the Ethereum to Bitcoin pairing. Here we go. Don't forget what I've just shown you. All right, we're going to zoom out. First, I'm zoomed in, but I do want to show you while I'm zoomed in. And then we're going to zoom out. If Bitcoin is in a descending wedge, has hit the major cycle trend line. This goes back 3 cycles. I'm going to show it to you. That's the relationship to Ethereum to Bitcoin. This is going to show when the two change hands or flip the switch the flip. You get what I'm saying. Look at this bounce and volume starting to come back in. Off the major low, I believe we're on the cusp of that switch flipping. I'm going to zoom out so you can see this now. Check it out. 3 cycles, touch 1. Second cycle, touch 2. Look at the setup. Three cycles go, touch 1. Last cycle, touch 2. This cycle, touch 3. Look at the wedges through the halvening. Through the halvening. Through the halvening. I bet you can't guess what's happening, what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. Ethereum is going to flip the switch. And my projection is, because remember, the relationships are achieving parity. Because this shows the dynamics between Bitcoin and Ethereum and who is leading the market. So over time, we're seeing that more often than not, as this price is pinching, that they're moving together or more in unison. However, there is still room for Ethereum to lead, and we're going to see that this cycle. Now, guess what happens next cycle? And I've already told my people this. They know this. Next cycle, I think we see almost very close to almost a perfect movement in unison. I really do. If this pinch point continues and this parity, but we don't have that right now. And we are going to see that switch flipped. We are going to see Ethereum take the lead, and we are going to see it run and lead altcoins. So now, remember, I showed you Bitcoin dominance. I just showed you this one, Ethereum to Bitcoin. Now check it out. Let's look at Ethereum dominance to see what happened. This is beautiful, guys. This one's so beautiful, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. All right. Last cycle. Ethereum takes the lead. This is Ethereum dominance. Down. Ethereum takes the lead. This cycle. Down. Now, I'm going to zoom in on this. Check it, check it. Ethereum. This is Ethereum. Bear trap. You got the breakout below. That's a bear trap. How do we know? Look at this candle. Look at this volume. Woo! Look at this candle. Look at this volume. What's coming? Yes, sir. It is, it is, it is. And this is why 360 Elite have some incredible leverage longs that we've accumulated while Ethereum has been in nation. I'm going to show it to you. It's showing up on every chart. Every chart. Look at Ethereum. Let me open this up. Oop. Stay with me. Everything rhymes. Everything goes with everything. Bam! That is a weekly candle, folks. That is a weekly candle with engulfing volume. We leverage long right here. Look at our longs. That's our first set. We're going to continue to stack leverage longs here. 23.58 was our entry. We're going to ride these longs, these leverage longs, where? Not to where it's already hit. Because it hasn't even hit its all-time high from the last cycle. We're going to ride them to 5,000. To 5,000. That's right. We're going to ride them to 5,000 higher. These are going to be insanely profitable leverage longs. They already are. Like we're already up an arm and a leg on these bad boys. But what is happening to alts? What is going to happen to alts? You can, first of all, you can see right here that Ethereum has not only broken out of its bottom. Here's its bottom. It has achieved the old trend channel. Here's the trend channel. It has achieved the old trend channel and is going to probably hit some resistance in here. There's a fair value gap right here. But every time we get pullbacks up in here, that's where we're going to be adding on to our leverage longs so that we can get the bigger ride, the longer rides. So how does this translate to your altcoins? Let me show you. Thank you for asking. Yes, one of my favorite charts. We're going to break this down to the daily. This is one of my favorite charts because most of you don't care about Bitcoin. You don't care about Ethereum. You should by nature of what is required from them in order for you to have your altcoin run. You with me? That's why when people are slamming Ethereum, and by the way, when everybody started slamming Ethereum there the last few weeks, I told you that was the signal. I told you that was the signal for Ethereum to reverse. And what happened the next week? Ethereum went bonkers. Literally, you can just look at Twitter and you can tell when it's time for something to happen. You just can. And Ethereum had been down so long, everybody was bashing it. And I'm like, you have no idea what's coming. You have no idea what's coming. So here it is. This represents all the altcoins, the altcoin market. You get your breakout, your pullback to major horizontal. Keep tapping on that door. And I told you once altcoins break this would be the change of character. What does that mean? That means the change of character represents, instead of it being in a downtrend, you have broken the high that precedes the lowest low. Well, now this has to establish support up here. So now we're looking for this to establish support, and we're looking for the rocket off of that. That will be the final valid nail in the coffin for bears. But you can see it's already achieved the challenge. You already get a daily candle close above there. Now, many times the first breakout is false and it comes back down. So don't be surprised if we see this, if we see Bitcoin and Ethereum pull back a little bit and we see altcoins get a slight dip back below. Why would it do that? I've told you this before. Advanced traders know to shake out late longs. So it would look something like this. And then you get your real run. And I've told people that. Why? Because breakout traders rarely win. And so smart money doesn't want breakout traders to have a free ride. So they bring price back down, back below. This is where you look to stack. That's why we're looking for pullbacks to restack Ethereum and to restack other longs. Then you take the move up. So this is what we're watching for right here. I have just shown you across the macro set of charts, and there's more, but I don't have time, for you to see that things are lining up for the cycle to be the cycle in accordance with cycle timelines, not early cycle theory or anything else, but for a cycle to just be the cycle. I've literally shown you on the macro charts how there's never been a cycle because Ethereum has never flipped the switch, but it will. I've shown you on all the macro charts how Ethereum is now coming off those lows, Ethereum to Bitcoin coming off those lows, altcoins charging. Everything is lining up for what is coming. Again, doesn't mean there's not going to be a pullback. I highly expect there to be a pullback. I highly expect some of these lower level liquidities to fill. But what is coming is the true cycle, and we are here for it. Love you guys. Thank you for joining me live. I hope you have a blessed and wonderful weekend. If you enjoyed this, subscribe, follow, and if you really want this 24/7, come join the 360. Come join the 360 Elite. Until next time, baby. Here comes the boom.